Hey, it is Monday Night Live. It's Yvonne. I'm back. It seems like I'm always saying this, that I have been away for a long time. This time I think it's been two Mondays I've been out. But here I am. I'm back coming to you live from the studio here in Brisbane. So if you are watching live, then I'd love to know where you're watching from. And if you're watching on replay, please let me know as well. So thank you for joining me. I've just got a bit of stuff there on my computer. So I'm Yvonne. Let me put a banner up and tell you who I am. I've got my name there. Yvonne from Women's Fitness Adventures. I'm the founder and CEO. And so every Monday night for about the past 7 years, I started off Saturday, then Sunday, now Monday. I have been doing a Monday Night Live, and this is where I check in and share my tips and insights and questions from the week. And if you've got questions, you can ask me them as well right here, right now. So if you're watching live, please let me know where you're watching from, whether you're a member or not. All I see, as I say every week, is those little red eyes or those little dots on the top of my screen that's got eyes. I can't see anything until you let me know who you are. I know in the past 2 weeks when we've been down on our Couch to Mountain program, I have heard stories of how people became involved, women became involved with us, and lots of stalking of our website for at least 12 months. So if you are a stalker, come on, come clean and put yourself there out there. Let me know where you're watching from. So hello, Leanne. Hello, Julie Hazel. Lovely to see you as well. So Leanne from Grantham, which is in Queensland, and Julie from Victoria as well. Now, I know there's a couple of other people watching. So tonight I am going to talk about a couple of things. Firstly, two things. One is impact, and the second one is a hiking tip. Two hiking tips, actually, that I have. So I'm going to just cover those off. Just make a note because I threw that second one in there just then. So we often... Oh, and hi, Jelena, and hi, Mandy. How are you? We often, wonder sometimes whether we're doing has any impact, and how do you measure impact? And it's a really hard thing to measure. And I've been talking to some colleagues globally about impact just recently, and what does that mean? And if you've received our newsletter, which I literally just press send on both, whether you're a member or not, you would have received the newsletter. If it's not there, please check your junk. The three things that stick are confidence, self-belief, and trust. And nowhere has that been more evident than where I've been in the past 14 days. But really, if I look back over to our past 8 years, and I guess this time of year is a time for reflection, is that, the common things that keep coming out, and we had a conversation about this morning, are confidence, trust, and self-belief. And we can really apply this to any aspect of our life. Anything that we do, that we go on a journey where it changes us and we come back altered in some way because we chose to engage. And hi, Meg, and hi, Michelle. So we're from literally the east coast of Australia this evening watching. So when I talk about impact, when we go away to somewhere, whether that's on holidays or we're off on a work conference or on an adventure or whatever it might choose to be, we can choose to engage with the location or not, and we can choose to engage with the people or not, or we can choose to engage with the people and the location. So we kind of go out, orbit the moon, if you like, and come back. So if we orbit the moon, we get to interact with people and place, because that's our destination. But we can kind of set our sights on going out to the moon and totally miss it altogether and come back, and it has not had any impact and it hasn't changed us in any way. But I know from all of the hundreds, if probably thousands of women that I've taken on adventures, my staff and I, or my team and I, over the past 8 years, is that when we go away together as a group of women, and because we're all pretty much of similar mindset, of similar values, of similar conversation and I guess social outlook, that we all do interact with each other and we interact with the place as well. And we want to get to know the locals. We want to understand the geography and the history of the adventure and our location. And we want to, spend our money supporting local businesses as well. I know that when we go away on an adventures, we engage, and we engage with people, ourselves and the locals, and we engage with place and gather that deep understanding. And it's when we have that that engagement on that level, which we work really hard to curate as well, but ultimately it's up to the individual. You may have been on some things where, not with us, because we try and make sure it doesn't happen, but on anything you might have seen in your whole life journey, where people can go somewhere and just not engage. They want everything like it was at home. Particularly with travel, you often see people from different locations saying, well, I brought this from home and I brought this from home and I'm looking for McDonald's and I'm looking for this and that. And that doesn't really engage with people and with place. So we know because we are very conscious of it, that when we engage with people and we engage with place, that this great impact happens. And the impact that it has on the individual may never be known, or on the individual is known and, has a longer lasting effect. But the impact that has beyond the self may never be known, may never be seen, but it exists. And let me share a story. So hello, Diane. So we came home from our Couch to Mountain program last week. We had 2 groups. Both groups made me cry, tears of joy at the top, which was just so beautiful. And several of us were from Queensland, and we were sitting on the plane, and we all got off the plane at different same time, but different. We all got off the plane, and because we were sitting in different seats, we all waited at the end of the, whatever it is, the ramp, the off ramp. And out of the corner of our eye, we could see these little girls. And if you're watching, you'll know who you are. These little girls standing there with some signs, and would have been 8 and 10. They were quite shy and like, do I hold my sign up? Do I not? And there was a woman probably in her 40s holding this sign saying, you are my role model. I'm so proud of you. And the little girls were like, my grandma's amazing. This is just awesome. And then there was an older man there. And then we twigged that it was actually one of our Couch to Mountain ladies getting off the plane. And I could cry right now. That moment where she walked off the plane and they were there with the signs was life-changing for us, life-changing for her, because that belief that the whole family had in her as well, but also the impact that her doing this for herself, her at, this lady's in her, I'm going to say somewhere between 65 and 75, the impact of her making that change and doing things that she didn't do before was just so powerful in that moment. And what those little girls of 8 and 10 will see is they will see this fantastic role model of a grandma, and their mum sees the fantastic role model of her mother. So generationally, that impact and that change will continue on and on and on. And, it will result in different choices for those little girls and their mother. And whether they were making great choices or not before, they now have this really strong female role model who has taken action at a later age in life to make a difference to her health and to her well-being and to her circle of friends as well. And Mandy, oh my gosh, absolutely, it was an oh my gosh moment. And hi, Sandra from Sydney. But it's not only, that's a big impact visual moment that we got to see. But there's lots and lots of visual moments that we don't get to see. And I know when I come home from an adventure and I share the photos, even that understanding and that knowledge of a different location and a different place. And I was out doing some adventure kayaking the other day and talking to someone said about mangroves, my brother-in-law, and I said, oh, yeah, the reason for mangroves is blah, 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 mangroves, not mangoes. And how do you know all this? And it's because when we go as a group with Women's Fitness Adventures, we engage in the people and the place, and we take that little bit of knowledge and that little bit of understanding, and we take it back and sprinkle that around and amongst everyone we know. And that creates change, and that creates really positive impact as well. But a couple of the words that keep coming back to me, and there's lots of words that keep coming back to me, and hi, Kerry, and hi, Gay, is the confidence, the trust, and the self-belief. And I don't know about you, and if you want to comment, please do. But imposter syndrome is alive and well. And if you aren't aware of what imposter syndrome is, it is where we think, well, who am I? Who am I to step into that adventure? Or who am I to give advice? Or who am I to be the role model? Or who am I to be the expert? And that is alive and well. And it's not just in women. We think it's in women. It's in men too. And that self-doubt and that self-belief exists within us all. But when we get fitter and when we get stronger and when we have an achievement, that self-belief just grows like watering a flower. It grows stronger with every step that you take, and we become more confident in ourselves. We learn to trust ourselves because we've done something that we didn't think we could do, whether that's sticking to a program, whether that's committing to something in the future and going along with it, whether that's achieving a summit or a trail or, whatever it might be. When you start to flex that muscle of commitment that builds strength, that builds fitness, that builds health, it just starts to build confidence more and more and more. And, the comment this morning was, you've built confidence in me because the programs that you run are never a race. They're all about the individual. It's all about me and what I can do, not in a non-selfish way, about you giving me the confidence within me and the support to know that I can do it. And we're out hiking this morning and it was quite a rocky trail, and I always make analogies to life with hiking. And what someone else's path is on the rocky path and someone else's footsteps aren't necessarily yours, because we're all different heights and shapes and have different balance abilities and all sorts of things. So when we follow someone, we're following in their footsteps, and we all shine enough to forge our own path and to choose our own footsteps down a rocky trail. And when we do choose that, we stop and ponder and choose the path that's right for us. That's the analogy for life. It's to stop, reflect, just check it out. Is that the right thing to follow that person, or is there a better route for me as well? And I think that those, the more we start to do that confidence and trust and self-belief in ourselves grows, and that becomes a really, really powerful thing. Because when we have those things, it's not big noting ourselves, it's not telling ourselves that I am the greatest. It's that quiet confidence that grows from within that gives us strength in every other aspect of our life as well. Now, I'm doing a lot of talking and I'm not seeing a whole lot of comments here, and I've left my mouse. So if you have a comment and would like to share, please let me know, because I'm just going on and on here. So that impact, has it just has long lasting things. And you might think that, and I know, Diane, you're watching, that you're a grandma as well, and the things that you do, the active life that you lead has a positive impact on your family as well. And you've often mentioned that to us. And I bet you every single one of our members, no matter how active you might be at various times, just your very act of having that outlook of I am involved, I can, I will start to have that positive ripple effect long term. And thanks, Diane. It's so true. You've said it so well. But really, it's not me saying it. It's all of our members saying it back to me, that this is the gift that they have been given. And we can all be given a gift. We did Secret Santa yesterday with my family, and we can all be given a gift. We can choose to accept that gift and do something with it, or we can reject that gift and go, no, that's not for me. And maybe that's the case. But I do think when you are given the gift of something that scares you in a out of my comfort zone way, that is going to be beneficial for you, then you'd be crazy not to take that gift, whatever that gift might be, because the opportunities are always there. It's what we choose to do with them. So Gwen says, Women's Fitness Adventures has been life-changing for me, more confident, reduced self-doubt, and knocking that monkey off my shoulder. Yeah. And, we think we're alone with our worries about that. And on hikes, we get to talk about lots and lots of things, and we all feel very similar. And, life is challenging, and the more we can flex those muscles of confidence, trust, and self-belief, and the fitter we can become, it makes some of those challenges a little bit easier to deal with. It's not going to get rid of them, but it makes them a little bit easier to deal with. So I'm just going to pop a thing up here. If you're not a member, you can join now. And what a great Christmas gift that would be. If any of our members are watching too, that's a great Christmas gift to give. So just a couple of shout outs I want to give. So our lady who stepped off the plane, I'm not going to say who she is because that was such a beautiful moment, and she knows who she is. And if she's watching or watching the replay, she might choose to comment who she is. A big shout out to Sandra, who also said that, having the non-competitive nature allows everybody to shine. And I think that that's really important. It's certainly one of my values is that I'm competitive within myself, but I'm not competitive against everybody else. And I liken it to the swimmers, the Olympians, who swim in their own lane. And whilst they might be aware of what's going on around them and beside them, they're really competing with themselves to bring out the best within themselves. Diane says, I've also found other women in their 40s being impressed with what I have achieved. And Diane's in her 60s somewhere. And I think that gives them goals as they get older too. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, we may never know who we are inspiring, but please be assured that if you are out there and you're active, then you are inspiring others around you. A big shout out to Margaret. She's not watching tonight. But Margaret, I always share her story about how inspiring she is. Margaret joined us in lockdown in 2020. People say, I can't be involved with you at Women's Fitness Adventures because you're not where I am. Well, that's just a myth you should stop talking about, because Margaret lives way up in Cairns, 1,800 kilometres away. She joined in lockdown, could not walk 5 kilometres. Margaret's in her 60s as well. And when I say in her 60s, these are women who are shining brightly. We are all in that vicinity and all shining very brightly. Not the lady of 60s that we might think of 60 years ago. And she started walking 5 kilometres with our 5 kilometre for 5 day challenge, which is coming up again in February. But she since then has gone on to do 3 multi-day adventures with us and literally changed her life and found some great friendships along the way and lives all the way up in Cairns. So shout out to Margaret, and a shout out to Linda as well. And Linda, you'll know who you are when you're watching, and I'm saying this because we're nearing the end of 2022 and I like to reflect. I mean, there's so many wonderful women I could shout out to, but I like to reflect on 2022. Or 2022, and it seems like yesterday I was just welcoming us to 2022, who joined us about 6 years ago and then still remained a member, but had a break for a long time as some life things got in the way, but never let go of being part of our community because it kept her connected. And she's recently gone on to complete the Couch to Mountain program as well, knowing that she was going to get back into hiking. And then one of our other wonderful members who lives down in Tasmania, and his story will be out soon, who has been involved with us again since that 5 kilometre for 5 days, and has participated in all of our online active and all our online social events, and has lost over 18 kilos in the past 18 months, which is a huge achievement given the changes that go through women as we, go past the age of about 45. So it's just amazing to think that, every single member, every single woman inside our community is supporting every other woman and enabling her to step up and be the best she can be wherever she chooses to live. So that's impact. There's a lot about impact I could keep talking about, but I promised I'd also talk 2 hiking tips. So the first one was in the newsletter, and a question we had come in during the week was, I hike. And the reason for that, the general reason for that is that our glute muscles, or our muscles in our bottom, which are the powerhouse muscles, aren't strong enough. So when they're not strong enough, we can, get some knee issues, particularly when we're going downhill. But we also, when we are hiking, it's really tempting when we're going uphill to walk on our toes. And as soon as we walk on our toes, we're really burning our calf muscles out. And burning our calf muscles out can lead to, the calf muscles are sore the next day. If we don't stretch properly, they can lead to tight Achilles, which can, sometimes lead to the dreaded plantar fasciitis. So, I really encourage there's hiking techniques to use, which is using your whole foot, and then a whole lot of functional exercises that can be done to strengthen glutes and really give strength to the hips, the glute, the bottom muscles, and the knees, and the whole lower body, that make for a much more enjoyable hiking experience, minimize our risk of injury, and engage the right muscles when they need to. So that's the hiking tip there. And the second hiking tip I have, and if you want to know how to do that, then as members, you have access to the functional fitness and all of those great resources that we have, and we teach you how to strengthen your lower body and your hips and your glutes, and strengthen the calf muscles that give direction to our knees and our ability to stop and start quite quickly. But the other hiking tip is when training for an adventure, it's really tempting to just load up the pack. Just day pack hiking I'm talking about. Load up that pack and throw anything into it. And there was an old, the old way used to be, well, I'm just going to throw in a bag of rice, a kilo of flour. I'm going to throw in some tins and cans of food. Even had someone put some coin bags filled with coins in there. That was a while ago, before COVID. And others will put in milk bottles full of water, and it might give the weight, but it doesn't give an accurate picture of, the distribution of the weight through your pack and what will be reflected on your actual hike. So I encourage you to if you're loading up your pack for an adventure, go slow, because we don't want to fatigue the body. And don't, have a fitness runway for sure, but don't train for 9 months with your heaviest pack, because the body will fatigue and your risk of injury is quite high. But also to pack the things you're taking. That will assure you that that they all fit in the pack to start with, but that you've got the right gear for the right time. And I know it might seem ridiculous in summer, hiking for an alpine condition, and you've got raincoats and overpants and thermals and all that kind of stuff in there. But the more you do it to mimic real life, the better that will be as well. And you'll figure out where things are stored in your pack and where things aren't as well. And it's really important that you have the right size pack. So training with the right gear inside your pack and building that up like a bell curve, and then bringing it back down so you've got adequate time to taper and recover before the adventure is my second hiking tip, how to make sure that you're weighting your bag correctly. You put water in it, you put dumbbells in it, like extra, water that isn't the way you would consume it on an adventure, on a hike, or bags of rice and stuff like that. It's just going to change the distribution. Unless you're taking a kilo of rice on your hiking adventure, it's just going to change the distribution and end up, pulling and pushing in places that it doesn't really need to be. So I really encourage you, if you're training for an adventure, pack to that adventure, but don't do it all at once. But we can certainly help you, and our multi-day adventures give you all of those training plans and teach you that build up and the why and the how to build up and taper off, so that we minimize that risk of injury, but we are adventure ready when the time comes. So speaking of adventure ready, a couple of adventures that are just there before Christmas. Over Christmas, we'll put up a couple more, but our Dolomites adventure, legendary Dolomites adventure in Italy in July, is amazing. So the Dolomites is one of the premier hiking regions of Italy, and it's a circuit hike that we're doing. Anyone with a moderate plus level of fitness could do that. We stay in the refuges overnight. It's day pack hiking only, so our supplies are brought along by a mule each day, a little donkey, and we have hot showers and everything in the refuges. But really lots of ups and downs on that hike, and it's quite rocky. But anyone with a moderate plus level of fitness could do that one, and you will be blown away by the scenery. And it was an old World War II escape route, so there's lots of great, rich history to be had there as well. Our other one in April, late March, April, is our New Zealand Southern Lakes, which is just fantastic. It's our third time doing that. It is a sampler of everything that's great about the South Island. There is the hiking. We hike out to Aspiring Hut overnight. There is biking, which is optional, which is one of the half days or one of the days there, which you don't have to do if you're not a biker. There's the option to try stand-up paddleboarding at Wanaka, on Lake Wanaka. And the last time we did that, same time of year, beautiful autumn colours. The sun was shining. We had so much fun on the lake. We entertained everyone who was watching. And then we also have our Murray River Fitness Adventure, which is an introductory adventure, and that is in August, and that has only recently been put on the website and is filling up fast. So that is it from me. Lots of goodness, not much comment from you guys today. So if you think of something afterwards, then please type it in, always here. And if you have a question, please type that in as well. But that's it from me for today. I will be back next Monday night, the last one before Christmas and the last one for 2022. So if you have anything you'd like to share about your highlights from 2022, then I'm going to do a bit of a highlights thing next Monday night. So I do hope you'll join me then. Otherwise, I hope to see you around, see you on an adventure. If you want to have a chat about anything, pick up the phone or drop us a message and we will get in contact with you. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next week. And Leanne, I will see you in person in South Australia next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.